So around 3 months ago, the popular YouTuber Cody Ko was canceled for allegedly having sex with a 17-year-old Tana Mojo, among other allegations. And this cancellation really came as a surprise to most of the internet, myself included, mainly because his content and even his personal life seemed so clean. At the time of his cancellation, he was creating commentary videos on a variety of topics, where he would make very, what I would call safe humor and reactions. On top of that, he had a wife and was about to have his first child, suggesting by any metric that he was normal. Most of the time when there is a cancellation of a supposed creep in the media, the public is able to quickly agree that this person has always been a creep and that all that was missing was this final piece of evidence to cement it. But Cody Ko's cancellation is a really rare moment where everyone online was extremely caught off guard. But I don't think that we should have been caught off guard at all. And like other publicly outed creeps, I think that Cody Ko and several other famous YouTubers that were canceled have a pattern that I believe most of the internet has completely looked over. Today, we're breaking down the pattern of YouTube predators.
Man, that shit made me want to vomit. R. Kelly being 31 and like charming up 17-year-old girls. That's weird as fuck. And like the music producer like took the words out of my mouth. He's like, you know, you can just tell when you just know it. It doesn't matter how much makeup they have, like you just know it. I'm like, yeah, you do. Like there's an innocence about being 17. That's fucking creepy.
Just don't let them hang out with weird famous people.
So an insanely quick history on Cody Ko. Cody initially gained internet popularity on Vine, or as people nowadays would call it, old TikTok. And in 2016, he participated in the Great Migration from Vine to YouTube that all Viners had to do due to their app imploding. Soon after being on YouTube, he would join his friend Noel Miller to create 2 series that would define his internet presence until today. That's Cringe and TMG. It is very important to mention that both of these series were created when Cody was 27 years old. The former was a series of reaction videos where Noel and Cody would react and make jokes in response to a variety of internet videos. And the comedy was unique.
Maybe I thought we'd learn a little something about sex.
But no, this is my dick. Get off, come here.
Brothel. The first sex dolls agency in Europe. Book your doll now. It like talks to you, I'm pretty sure, and shit like that. At first I was like, this is fucking absurd, this is so gross. And then I was kind of like, why not? For the story. Maybe I'll vlog it.
I can give you.
We have how to be single and satisfied at the same time, which summed up in one word, I would say masturbate. Masturbate. That's what we want to do. Yeah.
Nearly all the jokes that they made were centered around dicks, masturbation, and the novelty of sex. Generally immature humor. And this may sound like a diss, but when I was a teenager, this kind of immature humor was hilarious to me. Foreshadowing. And not just me, but millions of other people too. It's hard to overstate how immensely popular this series was at the time, with most of the videos in the series getting well over 20 million views as of me recording. The second series that Noel and Cody put together was actually a podcast called Tiny Meat Gang. And believe it or not with that name, this podcast also revolved around very similar things to the That's Cringe series.
Fucking robot dicks.
Yeah, so guy have 2 dicks, public masturbation.
That's like sex slaves?
Yeah, and was like doing things with them.
You know, mark masturbation.
Cup.
Both their dicks are hanging out, no cup.
Sex parties. Oh god.
It's an x-ray of his dick.
For 10 minutes, dicks.
10 to 20.
Double dick.
Double dick. 20 to 60,
Robot dicks.
Yeah.
That's our whole podcast.
And it was these 2 series that would launch Cody to enormous success in the YouTube space. I would also like to commend Cody with a massive asterisk on the word commend for maturing his content as the years went on. Not only because, god damn dude, you're 30 years old, it's time to drop the masturbation material, but also because he realized that through growing out of this immature style of humor, he could more easily leverage his channel as a good investment for other companies and products. Cody was kinda at the top of his game before his recent downfall, with TMG turning into a podcast network that hosted several podcasts. Cody posting nearly nearly daily to millions of views. He even became a DJ for a bit in an odd rich person side quest. Video idea: why do all famous people eventually become DJs? But this isn't a full biopic on Cody Ko. I gave you this brief history lesson to illustrate one main point. Cody was a 27-year-old who rose to an enormous level of fame off of humor befitting somebody a decade younger than him. And this begs the question, is there a link between creators whose humor appeals to kids and inappropriate behavior from those same creators? So I'm gonna be a bit presumptive here, so I hope that you can indulge me for the sake of this argument. What kind of 27-year-old has the humor of a teenager? When I was 17 watching and enjoying Cody Ko videos, I never thought to question the fact that I have the same level of humor as a guy who is 10 years older than me, because that's the only kind of humor that existed to me at the time. But as I matured out of his content, it really struck me that this guy was a fully grown adult, not playing a character, just being himself, and making jokes that were more in keeping with a teenager. And the fact that he was not playing a character is a really important part of it too, because it wasn't that long ago when there would be a team of writers, actors, and show creators that would put together content with the specific demographic of teenagers. The actors would then act in a way that the adult show creators thought teenagers would resonate with the motivation of profit in mind. Now, with the revolution of the internet and YouTube, all of these middlemen have been cut out. Although maybe one too many, because Cody Ko is not acting. He is a 27-year-old man with a stunted maturity level that allowed him to appeal to teenagers. So here's where you need to indulge my argument. I'm going to take the massive leap to hop inside of Cody Ko's mind fortress and imagine that somebody whose content is immature may possibly have a greater issue with being socially immature in other ways as well. What kind of adult has the humor of a teenager? How about the same adult who allegedly goes after those same teenage fans who adore his content and has sex with them? Let's quickly talk about the allegations against Cody. In July, Cody was called out by the influencer Tana Mojo during a live Q&A for, well, let me just show you the clip.
Who's the smallest you've ever had sex with?
Oh my God, no one look at me, Cody Ko. I can say that, I was literally 17, I can say that.
Cody was 25 at the time, by the way. This was then corroborated by a previous clip from another influencer, Gabby Hanna, in a resurfaced podcast clip.
I told a guy, I saw him making out with a girl at a party who was underage, and I pulled him aside and I was like, hey man, you probably don't know, I know she like looks a little older, she's underage, watch it. And he's like, oh my God, thank you for telling me. And then he turned that.
And then quickly after this, he was also called out for kissing and potentially dating another 17-year-old when he was 24. To add insult to injury to this guy's character, there has also been other resurfacing clips showing odd interactions with minors, one including him and his now wife hanging out and encouraging a then 17-year-old Emma Chamberlain to vape for the first time.
Do you want to feed it to me? Baby's first jewel.
That was weird.
That was good.
But the point of this video isn't to make a moral judgment or to simply dunk on Cody Ko, although he does suck. If you want one of those videos, you can see the hundreds that have been made already. The greater point of this video is to question anybody who is making non-acting content that appeals to children, and to wonder if their obviously stunted humor and personality could have any further reaching implications. Whether it be statutory rape, being friends with an open enjoyer of child, filming somebody in the suicide forest, or much more. Yes, this is the call out portion of the video. This kind of begs the greater question of like, what kind of narcissist wants to create a YouTube channel about themselves? Without widening our scope too much, there has been an overwhelming amount of content creators being themselves, making content that appeals to children, who have then been canceled for another aspect of this same personality that got them famous. Shane Dawson, James Charles, David Dobrik, Ava Chris Tyson, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Anision, EDP, All these names with allegations have a common thread of immature content. There's been an enormous amount of alleged creeps that have come from the Minecraft community, including Dream, Lion Maker Studios, popular MMOs, Jinbop, Call Me Carson. So much so that it's almost a meme in itself in that community. But the implications don't have to run as deep as actual air. Think of any YouTuber that you watched when you were a kid or a teenager that wasn't playing a character. These people are typically immature in some other way in their lives or in their videos. And while their immature personality may be entertaining for some kids, the flip side of that coin is usually hidden until a scandal like that of Cody reveals itself. The great irony of Cody Ko and a lot of the names that I've mentioned here is that the reason he blew up so much was that he had the adult ability to create good content combined with the stunted maturity of a 17-year-old, allowing him the relevant humor of the youth at the time. And as the Catholic Church was rightly called out for having a huge pedophilia problem, we have to beg the question, what systemic problems are causing YouTubers to be pedophiles or weird people at a higher rate than normal? YouTube has an oversight problem that clearly enables potential pedophiles and general weirdos to have a natural advantage in the kids and teenage content space. It's uncomfortable to say, but this trend might continue just given the dynamic of YouTubers not being actors like the old days. And until YouTube addresses this pattern, we may continue to see creators like Cody Ko rise and fall. Please leave a comment about how I'm just a dumbass psychoanalyzing YouTubers and subscribe, goddammit. Bye.